wasn't necessarily the injuries, but the way everybody reacted to the injuries last year that really kind of knocked the team back.
That's a good point.
How do you learn to handle adversity better? And how much did last year play into that?
I mean, everybody's feeling really good right now, right? We got a great summer going. You're wearing avocados. I mean, we're all having a great summer, right? Well, I promise you, in everybody's life, you're fixing to face some adversity. It's coming, man. Ladies, it's coming. I mean, it's coming. You walk out this door, something may happen. It's coming. And when you start to really understand that and understand that you're going to overcome whatever it is, then your attitude's different about it. And anytime you got a great attitude, you got a chance to overcome anything.
So how do you learn from what happened last year to make sure that
you don't forget it?
Yeah.
You don't forget it. And you make sure when you're in those situations that you're learning from those situations. So it wasn't sit around and go, woe is me all last season. It was, okay, why, what happened? Why did it happen? All right? Why did we not overcome it? How do we overcome it next time? Don't just because you feel bad, we put it to bed. No, we're going to learn from it as much as possible, then put it to bed and move on to the next game. Well, in the off season, you don't have it's bring it all up again. Let's go and let's talk about it. Let's figure out why, and let's make sure we don't do the same thing like we did it.
Coach,
go ahead.
Take us through switching right left to quarterback. A lot of kids don't want to give up that position.
From quarterback to receiver?
Yeah. And what it means to his future.
Yeah, so Rat came in, very talented, very, we knew he could run. We knew he could really run because that was obvious because he ran the ball in high school at quarterback. And so at the time we had Mitch there, and I was expecting Mitch to be there another year beyond that. So we're, make sure to turn your phones off. All right, so we put him over on the scout team one day, and they didn't need him at quarterback, so they stuck him out at receiver. He said, yeah, I'll run receiver. And I'm watching him, and he's making some catches against our first team DBs, and I'm thinking, dang, And so I remember at dinner that night, I said something to him. I said, man, you got some skills, and you might have an opportunity to be a big-time receiver. He was like, Coach, whatever you need me to do. And so we talked over staff, we made the move, and he's really taking it and running with it. I mean, he's just getting better and better every day.
And that return ability adds to his pro prospects.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that.
Coach, why do you feel like the game of football is under attack? You said that earlier.
Well, because I think that all the things that are either written or said out there are not all true. And I made this comment earlier. I think you can take data and you can turn it and twist it any way you want it to. And you can leave out what you want and put in what you want. And I'm not blaming anybody here. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just talking about overall, as everybody talks about it, the people that are against the game of football and what it stands for. And so I think that right now there are people that listen to those things and get turned off by the game, and some of the things that they're getting turned off by have no truth to them at all.
Is there certain data that you take issue with, like cite some that?
I don't think that the game of football, that it's been proven that the game of football causes CTE, but that's been put out there. We don't really know yet. I mean, are there the chances for concussions in the game of football? Yeah, we all have common sense, right? Yeah, there are. When you have two people running into each other or multiple people running into each other, there is a chance of a concussion, But again, I'm going to say the game is safer than it's ever been in the history of the game.
In terms of the education of players with the long-term risks of concussions, like how much responsibility do you feel like schools have, coaches, where does
I think we all have that responsibility. When you're talking about the health and safety of your players, I don't think there's a single coach in America that's sitting around going, man, how can I get my guys hurt? How can I get them to get concussed? Nobody's doing that. Nobody wants their players to get hurt. Is it our responsibility to prepare them for the chances of it happening and, what happens once you've had one? To the best of our knowledge, to me, that's what we do. That, hey, there is a risk involved. I think everybody that plays the game in 2018 understands there's risk involved in the game. I don't think there's a player, at least at the college level, I'm not going to speak younger levels. I think every kid that's playing the game at this level understands there's risk. You know, now that kid, that person has to weigh whether the risk is worth the reward. He has to, and he's the only person that can make that decision. And if he comes to college on a college scholarship, he's probably made that decision.
Do you feel like there should be some sort of consent type thing where a kid really understands like the scientific data that's out there? Like, you know, if you have 3 concussions, you're 2.5 times more likely to suffer from depression at age 50, which is a study that's been done by Guskowitz.
Yeah,
like should kids know
I think they should know any legitimate data that's out there. I think we need to. Yeah, I think we should always be educating them so that they can make a decision. You know, I mean, you know. I mean, this is my life. I mean, I'm passionate about the game of football and what you learn from it and what the rewards are. And so, yeah, but I don't ever think that we should stop educating our young people on the risks that are involved in it and what the long-term prognosis could be, all those things.
Have you seen changes in attitude with younger people in high school that's leading you to believe that the game's under attack?
I think where I've seen it is you listen to all the leagues that, you know, for youth leagues that are around the country, and they talk about the decline in participation. Yeah, so, and I don't think that's not necessarily the kids. It's not the kids that are, when they're 8 years old, thinking, I don't want to go play football. It's the moms or the dads or the grandparents or who have listened to something and they believe that it's not good. You know, and I'm a believer. I'm a firm believer. I think kids ought to be playing flag football all the way up until middle school, where you have school coaches. You have coaches that are certified through the schools, and that's when they start learning how to play the game of tackle football. So my dad did with me. I didn't have a choice. I remember crying about it because all my buddies were playing tackle football, and I was playing flag football. You know, but now I understand why. You know, and there were a lot of things I didn't like my dad did to me, but you know, I understand them now. So, but. You know, I think, you know, the USA Football is talking about different implementations of the way you play the game, starting with flag football, and I think that's a great idea. I don't think that a 5-year-old ought to be playing tackle football. I don't think there's any reason to. It's not going to make him a better NFL player, you know, so I don't get it.
You made a comment earlier about if football goes away or struggles, the country.
Oh, yeah, I think there will be a decline of our country, there's no doubt. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. I think because the lessons that you learn in the game of football relate to everything that's going to happen in the rest of your life. And if we stop learning those lessons, we're going to struggle. And, you know, I think in some ways we're struggling more now than we ever have. Are we ever going to be a perfect country? No, not by any means. And but I do think the game of football has had a major impact on who we are as a country.
Hey, Coach, you spoke about travel earlier. Heading up to a team you guys have not played in conference yet, Syracuse. What are the impressions you have of Syracuse? What have you learned about them so far? And then also, what have you had any interactions with Coach Dino?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I've got a lot of respect for Dino, where he comes from and what he's done and how he's evolved as a coach and what he's done with that program. You know, I've talked to people that have had to go up to the Dome and, you know, and have gotten my notes on the problems that you run into there and all those things that we'll try to be prepared for. But I think Dino's doing a great job with the program.
Coach, Anthony was asked about it last season. Aaron was explaining some of the changes in the strength and conditioning program in the offseason. How much of those were dictated by you and people kind of above you, and how much of that was self-reflection?
Yeah, everything we do is self-reflection. Everything. I mean, everything is analyzing, it's evaluating everything that you do in the program every year. So, you know, so you have a problem with injuries, and so then you go back and you look at everything you're doing in your training staff. You're looking at everything you're doing with your strength staff. You're looking at everything we do conditioning-wise, and you're looking at every aspect. And so you start making educated decisions based on those things, and you tweak things accordingly. So, yeah, so in the off-season, we tweak some things. We tried to start trying to identify deficiencies in players. I mean, whether it be you know, this guy's deficient in his left hamstring compared to his right. This guy's shoulder rotation is less. This guy's neck rotation, you know, all those things. And then it was, okay, implement a plan for that individual that is, for him. And okay, so if my left hamstring is weak, then what we're going to do is we're going to strengthen your left hamstring.
In regards to standard off-season changes, how much more dramatic or was the number of changes that happened in strength and conditioning this off-season?
Yeah, I don't know that if it was as dramatic, but it was. We wanted to make sure our guys knew we were aware of everything, and it was going to be a point of emphasis that everything that we're doing is about when we schedule a practice and we say there's 18 periods and we're doing this, this, and this, and this. Guys, all of this, there's for a reason for it. We didn't just roll the dice and say, hey, let's do 18 today. There is a reason behind everything that we do. And it's all about making our team be the best that they can possibly be. So that if that's in the weight room, that's how are we making that individual player better? Are we doing things that are going to help prevent injuries in the future for them?